YouTube, welcome to the battlefields of Total War, Warhammer. Ooh, got ourselves a zombie dragon, folks. A zombie dragon. I see the Red Duke right in there. It's kind of funny, he like sits in the chair and kind of looks like he's riding a roller coaster. So yeah, we got the Red Duke on a zombie dragon supported by a vampire who has a Lore of Death. And let's see what spell she's carrying. Spirit Leech. We've got quite a flying squad here with a Chaos Lord on a dragon, Sorcerer on a Manticore, and 2 Feral Manticore. And the vampire counts have 2 Blood Knights, a line of zombies, several units of Grave Guard, a Mortis Engine, 2 Crypt Horrors. So, interesting vampire army, a little bit of everything. They've got the Blood Knights, they've got the Horrors, they've got the Grave Guard, Corpse Cart, and a Mortis Engine. Interesting. And the Chaos player is hiding in the background with the rest of his army. Let's see what he's got. So there's a front line of Chosen, just a regular kind, no great weapons. Chaos Warriors with Halberds in a second line. Aspiring Champions and Chaos Warriors with Halberds in kind of a third line in the back. The Vampires are just running like crazy from this Chaos Goon Squad. Now, they'll never catch the Vampire Lore of Death. You can see the Spirit Leech has been real. On the either that or the Red Duke ended up in combat for a moment. No, it's probably Spirit Leech, because there it comes. So yeah, lots of Spirit Leech coming in on the Red Duke. Now the Red Duke can heal off most of this. He's probably just going to try and run. The problem is, like, these Manticore here are going to be used to try and cut off the dragon. So picking the zombie dragon here was interesting versus Chaos, which can field an air core, but I don't know, maybe people never try it against the vampires. I think these Feral Manticore can head off the dragon while being pursued by the Chaos Dragon, which is actually gaining ground here. It's got Foe Seeker, so it's gaining ground, and the Red Duke is going to be in trouble. Spirit Leech comes up again. Chaos Dragon in hot pursuit actually catches it, and the Feral Manticore again being used to just kind of cut off the retreat. They are 85 speed. The dragon is 90 speed. Zombie dragon's quicker than one would think. Invocation of Nehek coming up on the Red Duke. Scroll of Power, so probably going to try and pop another Spirit Leech. Yes, they did, which will definitely negate most of the effects of Invocation of Nehek. I hear spells going off like crazy right now. There was a Spirit Leech on the Death Sorcerer as well. And Red Duke is still miraculously alive. He needs to pull around here, and then the vampires cannot find the Chaos Army soon enough, and they need to engage so that these 2 units can come down and be protected by the Blood Knights. That's going to be the best chance the vampires have, is to just run, and hope that they can engage the enemy army soon enough to get units to the ground so that the Blood Knights can protect. I mean, in fact, kind of almost, I don't know if it'd be worth it or not, because Red Duke would get swamped. But yeah, the vampires are going to keep running at the moment. Another Spirit Leech. So I'm guessing the magic has to be running fairly low at this point, and then the Death Sorcerer gets Spirit Leeched again. The Red Duke is going to run out of healing fairly early on in this game. Oh, look at this. Flying Squad quits the pursuit and just drops onto the Corpse Cart and absolutely shreks it, and there's no units anywhere nearby to stop it because the Blood Knights are gone. They went to scout out the Chaos Army, and the Corpse Cart just gets absolutely crapped on. That's a spectacular move. Feral Manticore is going to come to an engagement. So it looks like the vampire just turned around. I don't know if they had an attack order, if they're just bumping each other or what. The Red Duke is trying to fly away still. And that dragon and Feral Manticore just dropped that Corpse Cart. Now there's an engagement. The Red Duke engages the Sorcerer and kills him. And there's a Spirit Leech on the Feral Manticore. And it looks like the vampire is attacking it at the same time. And it looks like the Red Duke is just trying to chase off the Sorcerer, because the Chaos Dragon's nearby as well. So let's see what happens. Taking down a line of Chosen with this vampire army here that's in the forest, that is not going to be good for the vampires. That is not going to go easily. They don't really have the units to easily break up the Chosen here. They could use the Mortis Engine for the Terror and try to work the flanks with the Horrors, but it's going to be hard to work a flank with the Aspiring Champions and the Halberds nearby. So, wow, even more Spirit Leech coming in. No, it's Spirit Leech the Manticore. Okay, I thought that was the Chaos people getting it. I was like, how do they even get Spirit Leech? Alright, so yeah, the Horrors are charged right into where the Halberds and the Chosen are at, so the Horrors are not going to do any good with the Halberds around. And the Vampire Army is going to kind of crumble up against the wall of armor that is the Chosen. And the Chosen will do quite well against anything that's lightly armored. And they'll still do pretty good versus Graveguard. The Chaos Dragons turned around, looking for targets back in combat. Man, that is one wicked-looking creature. They might drop on... Well, no, they're not going to drop on the Mortis Engine because the Blood Knights were protecting it. Okay, it looks like the Red Duke is finally caught. He's going to try to get away. That's all that the Vampire can do at this point is run, and it's done some good. They got rid of a Sorcerer, and they got rid of one Feral Manticore. The Red Duke's going to get an Invocation to hack. He really needs to get down on the ground. But already the Cryptors are getting shredded. They're already crumbling. And, I mean, it's just the Halberds are going to be too much here. Too much anti-large, too much armor, not enough support for the Cryptors, and they're going to crumble. The Red Knight, or the Blood Knights are charging in. And in the background, it looks like the Chaos Dragon lands on the Mortis Engine. Probably ignoring the Red Duke momentarily. And there's some Chaos Warriors to meet here as well. So the Mortis Engine is well and truly caught, and it's losing its leadership extremely quick. The Red Duke is still being pursued by a Feral Manticore. So this leaves the Chaos Dragon to absolutely destroy the Mortis Engine, which is going to go quite nicely. Interesting to see the air build used against a Vampire, and then the Chosen. Things that the Vampire is probably not going to be expecting. Both these players, too, are in the top 100, so this is not like a low-level game. Check out that zombie dragon with the Red Duke. That is so cool looking. This game is beautiful. Can't wait for Warhammer 2. Just more Warhammer, please. That zombie, or the Chaos Dragon there, too. Look at this fight. Yeah, that Vampire lady is going to need to get the heck out of Dodge. And the Vampire Army is taking a pretty solid shellacking at this point. The Chaos line is standing firm. Again, in the forest, large units lose some of their charge. At least I know Cavalry does. Here comes the Chaos Warriors with Halberds, chasing off the Blood Knights. The Vampire Lore of Death is on the ground. The Red Duke has managed to survive all this time, though. He is done healing. There is no more healing for the Red Duke. Looks like the Blood Knights are going to double back. Yeah, the Chosen at this point are maintaining leadership very, very nicely from the aspiring champions. The Zombie Dragon's going to come down in here. Should start crumbling all the units. And it looks like the Vampire admits defeat. And there you go, folks. There's a Chaos victory over the Vampires. And it was a pretty solid victory. And like I said, it was two players that are in the top 100, or were, I guess, when this was recorded from what I was shown there. So nice game there by Yadav and SPK. The Vampire Army definitely had potential to be dangerous to Chaos in the sense that the center kind of holds. You get your armor-piercing damage done with the Cryptors. And look at the multiple targets. You have a Corpse Card as a target, a Mortis Engine as the target, a Red Duke, and a Vampire. And basically the idea here is that if you did something like a double Shaggoth build, you would never really be able to focus any one of these targets without the other ones coming in and pestering you and then getting the protection of the Blood Knights. But in the case of bringing the Air Core, it put some serious pressure on the Vampires, who had brought a couple of flyers that just really could not match Chaos. Because a lot of Chaos armies do come on the ground recently. People haven't been pushing their ability to field quite a dangerous air force. So this is a fun game. I really hope you all enjoyed this one. I know I did, and I appreciate it being sent in. And since we had some discussion about Chaos and Vampires a while back, I felt like this would be a pretty appropriate replay. Hope you all are enjoying the replays. I love making this stuff for you every day. It's a real privilege, and I will continue to make you content as long as you enjoy it. And I appreciate MSI sponsoring the build I'm recording with. Appreciate you, my awesome viewer. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you on the battlefields of Total War Warhammer in the near future.